Hello, Sudoku friends, and welcome to a hand-set puzzle by one of my subscribers, Mr. Julian Locke. He sent me this puzzle and asked me to solve it, and that is what I'm going to try. I expect it to be difficult because Julian is an excellent solver, and it's going to be interesting to see how I can deal with this one here. The first thing that I see, of course, is that an 8 blocks down here and over here. So this is an 8. By the way, a link to this puzzle will be in the description for the video if you want to have a go at it yourselves. There's a couple of 8s blocking across here as well. This 8 and this 8 block these two squares. So this must be an 8. Something funky is going on with the 1, 2, 3 and the 1, 2, 3. I wonder if that means anything. And I think I will have to keep wondering. Well, I don't have to wonder about an 8 blocking these squares. So an 8 must go here. And now we have 2 8s blocking here and 2 8s blocking here and here. So here, of course, is an 8. Now we have 8s blocking across here and down here. So the final 8 of this grid goes here. And I guess this is where the fun and the trouble starts, if I know Julian right. Let's have a look at the 7s blocking down. 7 must go here or here. We have a 7 blocking over here, so a 7 will also go here or here. So we know that a 7 will go in one of these 3 positions. And while I'm trying to keep that in mind, I'm seeing these 2 5s blocking up and this 5 blocking over. So a 5 must go here. And now it seems as if we're going to have 5s here or here and here or here. A 6, 4 and a 5. Here's another interesting observation. We have a 4 and a 9 blocking here, and we have a 4 and a 9 blocking here. So it is quite obvious that these 2 positions must be occupied by a 4 and a 9, and that gives me a 9 for one of these 2 squares here, and a 4 for one of these 2. Three, 4, 7, 9 here. 9 goes in one of these 2 squares and blocks down. 4 blocks here, so this must be a 3 or a 7. And actually, since we know that this 7 blocks here and one of these must be a 7, we know that one of these 2 squares must be a 7, and we are going to have a 7 here or here, finally. So where were we? 4 and 9. Therefore, a 6 here, here or here, and a 3 or a 7 here. We also have a 3 blocking here and here, so a 3 could go in any of these 2 positions. And a 7 could go in any of these 2. Interesting. So far, it's a very nice puzzle. 4, 6, 7, 9 here. 7 and 4 block here. This is a 6 or a 9. That's not very conclusive. But this must be a 5, because we have a 5 here and here blocking down, and we have a 5 blocking over and over. So there's a 5. Every little new digit helps. 1, 2, 6, 7, 9. 1, 2, 6. This is a 7, 9. 1, 2, 7. This is a 6, 9. But isn't it so, I think it is so, that a 7 that blocks over here and therefore forces a 7 to go here blocks up. This 7 blocks up. We have a 7 here or here blocking across. We have a 7 blocking across here, 7 blocking up. So one of these must be a 7. And if we look across here, we need to find a 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. We have a 1, 2, 3, and a 7 blocking this square. It must be a 6. We know that these are 4 and 9. Since we now have a 6 blocking across here, and these are 4 and 9, this must be a 6. One, 2, 3, 7 here. 2, 3, 7 block this square. It must be a 1. 2, 3, 7 here. This can't be a 7. We know that. This could be a 7. No, it couldn't. Because as we recall, one of these must be a 7. So this is barred from being a 7. This is barred from being a 7. So a 7 must go here. Now, 2, 3 for these squares. 4, 9, 1, 2, 3. So 1 here or here, as I think we mentioned, and therefore here or here. But we found this 1. So now that this 1 blocks across, this 1 blocks across, this 1 blocks down, and this 1 blocks up, we can enter a 1 here. Now a 2 and a 3 must go in 2 of these 3 squares. And 2 and 3 conveniently block here. So we know that these 2 must be a 2 and a 3. Therefore, we need a 4, 6, and a 9 for these squares. The 6 blocks here. And by the way, since this is a 2 or a 3, it can't be a 6, can it? We got a 6 blocking up. This can't be a 6, so this must be a 6, it seems. So back to the 2, 3. And the 4, 6, 9 here. Can we do anything? Yes. The 6 blocks here and the 6 blocks here, so this must be a 6. 6 blocks over and over. One of these is a 6 now. 6 blocks over and down. I don't know about that. But the 4 and the 9 here now. Can we do anything? I don't think I can. So I think I should look elsewhere for the next digit. 4, 6, 7, 9. 7, 9 is, and 6 block here, so this must be a 4. 6, 7, 9. I'm not quite sure where they go, so I will look elsewhere. Here we are now looking for a 2 and a 3, as well as we are looking for a 2 and a 3 here. Are we getting any closer to anything over here? 3, 4, 7, 9, 3, 4. This is still a 7, 9. So if we have a 2 and a 3 here, what else is missing from the column 8? A 1 and a 9. Well, that's not helpful. A 9 must go here, here, but we knew that. But this is a 2, 3, this is a 2, 3. So 1 blocks. 1 must go here, here, or here. Anh xin lỗi. Anh nghe làm video cho YouTube. Cảm ơn em. I'm having my apartment cleaned as I am recording this. Sorry for the small interruption. So 1, 2, 7, 9, 1, 2 here, back to the 7, 9 here, 1 blocks here, 1 here or here, 2 I don't know much about. Okay, come on in. There seems to be a spectacular lack of 2s in this grid that I have to work around. But I want to have a closer look, I think, at column 4. I think I have spotted something that might be helpful, and they are related to the 6s and 9s, because we have a 6 and a 9 blocking here. We have a 6 and a 9 blocking here. And believe it or not, I think we have a 6 or a 9 here. This could also be a 9, mind you, but if we look at this square, I mean, it's clear that 6 and 9 block here, and it's 6 and 9 block here. It's quite clear. So the question now is about these remaining squares here. 6 and 9, but we have 3 squares to play with. But let's have a look at this square and see if we can limit it further. It cannot be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It could be a 6, but not a 7, not an 8. So it has got to be a 6 or a 9. And this square here has got to be a 6 or a 9, because it cannot be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. So a 6 and 9 here, and a 6 and a 9 here. And I think that is important, and it's important because now we need to figure out what to do with this square here. Since it obviously can't be a 6, and it obviously can't be a 9 anymore, and it cannot be a 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, or 8, it follows that it must be a 4. And now we have reduced these squares to a missing 6, 9, and 7. 6 can still go here or here, 7 must go here or here. And as I said, this is a 6 or a 9. And now we have a 2, 3 here and here, don't we? So 2s and 3s seem to be Julian's theme for this puzzle here, because we also have a missing 2 and 3 here and here. So 2 and 3 here and 2 and 3 here leaves these squares to deal with, and they cannot be 2 and 3. There must be a 4, 5, and a 7. Unfortunately, that doesn't help me much. All I know is that this is a 4, 7, and that a 5 must go here or here, but we knew that anyway. If we look at what's happening in block 8, and we look at what's happening in row 4, we can see a lot of the same numbers blocking the same squares. Let me take a look at this square here. It must be a 6 or a 7. And the reason I'm saying that is that the 9 is blocking, and we need a 6, 7, and a 9 for these 3 squares. So a 6 and a 7 here. We have the exact same digits in this row. So if we look at this square, it must also be a 6 or a 7, because it can't be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, or 9. So these 2 squares are 6 and 7. And that leaves 3 squares to figure out, and they can't be, of course, 6 and 7. They must be a 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Unfortunately, that leads me to nowhere. But let's see what else Julian has in store for us, because the same kind of numbers that are present in this row are present in this chute here. If we examine row 7, it must be also a 6, 7, and a 9. So this is a 7 or a 9, isn't it? Because the 6 blocks down. The 6 also blocks down here. So let's see if we are lucky with this square as well. It cannot be a 1, 2. 3, 4, 5, or 6 or 8. So we got a nice looking 7 and a 9 pair here. And look what that does to this square, because we need a 6. So we need a 7, 3, and a 9 across here. Since we got both the 7 and the 9s in these two squares, it follows that this must be a 3. And now 7, 9 here and here and here. This 3 blocks up. This 3 blocks up. We have ourselves a good looking 3 here, which blocks across. This 3 blocks up, and a further 3 goes here, which blocks down. This 3 still blocks up, and this blocks across. A 3 goes here. 3 blocks across. Now this is a 3, and this therefore is a 2. 3 blocks up and across. We have a 3 here. And we know now that these must be a 1 and a 9. And therefore, these must be a 2, 3, and a 7. 3 blocks down, here's a 3, 2, and 7 here. 2 blocks across, 7 goes here, and 2 here. 4, 9, 1, 2. 2 blocks up, so here's a 1, here's a 2. Now what? 2 up here somewhere, and therefore here. 2 blocks down and over to here. This is a very lovely puzzle, Julian, I have to say. I really like this. Hand-setting puzzles really make for great quality. What's missing here? A 9, and therefore, as we recall, a 7 here. 7 blocks up, we have a 7 here or here blocking up. 7 blocks across, here is a 7. Here are 1 and a 9. 9 blocks up, here's a 1. 9 goes here. Therefore, we have a 9 here, and I think we have cracked this grid. 9 and 9 and 9 goes here, and therefore here. Now we have a 9 here and a 1 here. And here, of course, these were 7 and 6s. The 7 now forces 7 to go here, and the 6 here. 6 blocks down and over, 6 here. Here a 7, and here therefore what? A 6. No, that's not right, a 4. And therefore a 4 here. Here we need a 6. These 3 squares must be a 2, 4, and a 5. 5 blocks over and up. Here's a 5. 2 and 4. 4 blocks up. Here's a 2. Here's a 4. Now this is a 9, and this is a 4 from earlier. 7 blocks over and up. Here's a 7. 2 blocks up and over, here's a 2, 4 and 5 for these. 4 blocks, here's a 5, and here's a 4. Very excellent puzzle. Thank you, Julian. It was a real joy to solve this. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and kudos to Julian. Bye for now.